DRM. What the hell is DRM and why should you care about it as gun people? Let's talk about that today on John Crump News. Hello, people in the interwebs. It is me, John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist with MLN.com. I keep an eye on the ATF and FBI and other organizations within the federal government that want to violate your rights as Americans. I'm also the Virginia director of Gun Owners of America, Washington's only no compromise gun lobby. We fight for your rights, and I fight for your rights in Virginia and also beyond. Today, we're going to be talking about DRM. You might ask, what the hell is DRM? DRM stands for Digital Rights Management. It is a software that kind of prevents copying of software. Basically, when CD-ROM games and programs first came out, there was no DRM on there. So if I had a CD writer, I could burn that and give you a copy. Back then, it wasn't really needed because CD writers were incredibly expensive. But once the prices started coming down and they started shipping with every computer, the software industry went to a DRM model. That also filtered over into music with stuff like Napster and stuff like that. People started sharing music, so the music industry started using DRM on their CDs and stuff like that. It filtered over into the movie world. Even ebooks have DRM. Think about it. If you have an ebook, you can just copy it and give it to someone else. The DRM kind of prevents that. Now, you might be wondering, why should we care about DRM as gun people? Well, the industry is changing very, very rapidly. And with the cost of 3D printers coming down and down, I mean, you can pick up Ender 3 for like $300 or cheaper. It is going to be a way that we can get around different stupid restrictions. We'll be able to print out Glock frames, for example, which we can already do, AR-15 frames, which we can already do. You might wonder why I'm talking about 3D printing. I'm not a 3D printer guy, you might say, but little do you know, I've been into the 3D printing scene for about 3 years now, maybe even longer. I got my first 3D printer and started printing gun parts back then. I just don't write about it a lot because there's people like Ivan the Troll and Control Pew that are experts in it that I can never match their knowledge of the 3D printer world. I mean, they live, breathe, and eat it every single day. I'm not like that, so I'm not going to go out there and make a bunch of videos claiming that I'm the end-all, be-all of 3D printing. So this is basically just me giving you an overview, a high-level overview, a 1,000-foot overview, a 25,000-foot overview, whatever you want to call it, of 3D printing firearms and stuff like that, and why DRM is bad. Okay, so let's get into why it's bad. We talked about what it is, so let's get into why it's bad. Okay, a couple different things. First, it will allow companies like Glock and SIG and everything else to go after people for generating 3D files. Once they get into selling 3D files, they're going to go after everyone who 3D prints a Glock frame on a printer that's not sold by Glock. Another bad thing about DRM is that it could require you to be online at all times. A lot of DRMs, especially in the gaming world, requires you to be online before you can play a game with a certain DRM. So you can't play it offline even if it's a first-person game. Think about that with 3D printing. You have to be online to print a gun file in your home where they can get your IP and get everything else. That's pretty damn bad if you ask me, especially if you don't want people knowing what you're doing. It's an invasion of privacy. And it's very, very bad. And let's say the printer checks for DRM. Now the printer can check for DRM and see exactly what's going on. And it can block printing of certain files. That's not a good thing at all. And we don't want these companies to be pressured to build in some type of system that checks DRM because that would be very, very bad. And it would cause us to try to get around it. And it will start a cold war of, hey, I'm going to try to do one thing and you're going to do another thing. And it's just going to be bad. The final reason why I don't like DRM is that it removes the ownership. You no longer own the product or the file. You are licensing that file. Let's say you have 3 prints before you have to buy it again. Is that file really yours, or are you just licensing the ability to print it? It's not a good thing. I like to own my things. That's why I still buy CDs and whatnot. But the licensing model is the way things are going. And if we can push back on that just a little bit for a little bit of time, that would be awesome. So basically, that is the reasons why I don't like DRM. There's tons of other reasons. Control Q, you can go check him out. Or Ivan the Troll, Google him. Go Google those guys. Those guys are great. They have probably a lot of other reasons. Cody Wilson has a lot of other reasons why he doesn't like it. There is a lot of reasons why not to like DRM and not a lot of reasons to like DRM if you are a customer. I can understand why you would like it if you're like Glock or Smith & Wesson or like even Amazon. But, being a consumer and being a hobbyist in the 3D printing world, I just don't like it. Like I said, I've been 3D printing gun stuff for about 3 years. I've been in the 3D printing world for damn near 5 years. I just don't really talk about it that much. It's not really my wheelhouse. That's Ivan's and Control Pew's wheelhouse. So I let them do what they do. I stay in my lane, and that's it. But I really wanted to make a video on DRM and talk to you about why it is bad. With that said, my name is John Crump. Once again, check me out on my Patreon right there. I think it is. I might be pointing in the wrong direction, but it's somewhere up there. Check me out at crumpy.com, mln.com, and check out my live channel. We do live shows. I will be gone this next week, taking a little vacation. I haven't taken one in like 5 years, so might as well take one right now, right? All right. With that said, stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keep in the fight. I am out. Peace.